Oh, look, an oxygen bar. Maybe we could breathe some clean air before our flight. An oxygen bar? What a fun idea. So how does it work? Firstly, we can choose a flavor. I will take this one. I'll choose it too then. Cool. Then we can experience the same. Secondly, this machine separates the nitrogen from the air with a filter. Oh, cool. And now we breathe it in through this tube under our nose. How easy. It doesn't even cover the mouth. The flight to French Polynesia will now depart. Oh, it is our flight. Okay, let's go. And so, why are we going there again? We'll meet my friends, and it will be a great chance to enjoy the cleanest air in the world, at least from the countries registered in IQ Air. IQ Air? What is that? It is a website where you can see how clean the air is in each country. There were 134 countries registered in 2024. Where we are going must have a whole load of trees. It does have many, 155,000 hectares of them to be more exact. Wow, so much! How many trees even is that? NHS Forest says there may be 1,600 trees per hectare, so that would be 248,000 trees. Ha, you also don't know how to say big numbers. Hey, as long as it is understandable, that is all that matters. Sure, sure. And so, how many trees is that per person? 816. And the country with the least clean air has 14 trees per person. Oh, maybe planting more trees would be a good idea. Maybe, or perhaps having less factories, but they can't do the latter because they need to stay afloat in the economy. Oh, that is unfortunate. But like, how many trees does one person need to offset the CO2 he releases? Not many, around 3. NASA says people need around 0.84 kilos of oxygen per day to survive. A tree releases 0.32, so 3 trees release 0.96, which is more than the daily need of 0.84. Oh, I see. Then even the country with the least clean air does have enough trees for the people, if it has 14 trees per person. The problem really must be all the emissions. Probably. Oh, look, there's my friend. Oh, hey, how are you two? Was the trip tiring? Not at all. We were talking about oxygen production and use. Oh, that is nice. Actually, my company joined the carbon credit system recently. Oh, really? How does it work? My company extracts oil and that releases some pollution. To offset that, I bought some forested land to achieve an equilibrium between how much carbon I release and how much I clean up with trees. Oh, but isn't that forest somewhat far away from the place where you have your business? Somewhat, but it does feel good to be carbon neutral. It is not like I can actually make my business pollute less instantly, so it is what it is. They hand out those permits, right? You can pollute as much as your trees can absorb, and then you start paying when you exceed that amount, right? Yes, I think so. From what I understand, if my business slows down enough, I can sell the value of the amount I would have polluted to another polluting company, so I can get some spare change, which is not too bad. But then having trees only gives you a discount? Can't you actually instantiate some money from having them? That would be nice, but money must always come from someone else's pocket, not out of thin, clean air. That is too bad. It would be nice if having plants were a source of income. I'd fill up all my windows with some plants. But what about the air you breathe? Do you actually want to pay for it? Of course not. But why are we afraid of paying for the air when we can pursue the truth? Truth would be the fairest means of attaining wealth. What do you mean with that? Well, humanity wants both humans and trees, so we don't have to be afraid of how much air is worth, because we'd never have to pay for it. The problem is that our economic model does not recognize productivity unless it gets sold, and trees produce air without knowing who the buyer will be. That makes sense. Because air is a common good, it gets taken for granted, and it, much like unpaid work, is starting to not be abundant anymore, with the commodification of everything. But I mean, we need to commodify everything, for everything to count, and to exploit no one, right? I guess there is no better system for now, so yes, you are correct. But we need to make production profitable, even if it does not get sold. For example, that would make plants sell oxygen, even if they don't reach making their main sellables. That brings extra income to farmers, so there is not so much pressure to have a 100% yield. But shouldn't we encourage 100% yields? Not necessarily. It takes a lot of chemicals that are bad for our health to reach that number, and reducing it would encourage some biodiversity, which is also good because animals provide free biomimicry ideas. Maybe we can instantiate money from plants and trees then, and destroy it as it gets consumed? But science says nothing gets created or destroyed in nature, it just transforms. Should we really do that kind of gimmick in economics? Well, we don't know how much oxygen there is in the world, so I guess yes. There has to be a truer way. The thing is, just because air is free, it doesn't mean it didn't take hard work to make. For example, according to the Ask Science subreddit, trees burn 224 kilocalories per day to make, according to near.co.in, 1.2 kilos of oxygen per day. So you mean that supply and demand don't always intersect at the same moment in time? Yes, that is correct. And in the case of air, it can't even be tracked because we don't breathe out of bottles yet. The point of sale is our very noses. Or is it the tree's leaves? Maybe there is a point of production and one of consumption, but it is the air who buys and sells the oxygen. Should the air be a legal person? A company? A bank? I like the point of production and the point of consumption. It decouples them, creating true money. That would turn the voluntary collection and disassembly of trash into pure sources of income, even if the prospect of the materials being sold again is very far away. The activity creates the wealth. The cost is how much energy it takes to do the activity. That sounds exciting. So, are we going to wait until we have to breathe through bottles to fix the economics problem, or do we dare to do it now? As long as joining these doesn't make me pay for air I can breathe or for breathing out, then sure. Okay, then let's go. We should try our best. Yeah! So if things transform, should money too? I heard that the big gross domestic product number is not always good because it also encompasses bad things, not just good ones. Oh, like what? A country that spent much money cleaning up natural disasters is not more prosperous than one that had less exchanges of money, but GDP makes it look that way. And why is that a problem? I'm not sure actually. I mean, more sales is technically good. It means there is a lot of activity, which is wanted. But why? Does more activity necessarily mean more prosperity? More activity means that an entity is alive and kicking, and that is wanted because being inactive leaves you vulnerable to bad surprises from beyond. Beyond? Yes, beyond. Diseases can appear at any moment, but we have scientists ready to fight them off. They find new solutions every day. If they were inactive, they wouldn't be ready as promptly to save humanity. So a big GDP means you are very active, which means you are readier to help humanity than someone with a lower GDP. Isn't that misleading when your activity is not accounted for? Yes, and that's injustice and falsity. And at times being slow can even be the best path to survival. There's just so many variables. But a bear must know when it is summer and when it is winter. No point being a dik-dik if there's no grass to eat, right? What is a dik-dik? Oh, it is a sort of small antelope that eats a lot. And so, how do we know how much activity of what kind is wanted? Well, we follow our senses. If the air is dirty, causing people to get heart attacks and cancer, we make it profitable to clean it. Wait, but that is politics, not truth. Is it? How come? Not even French Polynesia has 100% clean air, in spite of being the cleanest country registered. If we decide that we want clean air now, coal plants will close, and the lack of electricity will make people die. Food distribution will come to a halt. Will you unleash chaos and let people die right now to reduce the chance you may get sick? Where is the line in your priorities? Would you not mind it? My life is of course the most important one to me, but so is everyone else's to them. I wouldn't harm others, but I don't want to be harmed either. I may not be as strong, but in me lives a lot of things that give strength. You are poorer if I go extinct. My language, my culture, my unique perspective and wisdom, all these intentions I can express through my being are useful to you. The air being dirty is a byproduct of civilization, which we need to be strong to face anything that may come our way. Being healthy but weak is dangerous. We can end up as free labor, cattle, or test experiments to Galaxians if we don't evolve fast enough. Please do try to think long term a little. We can't be sitting ducks. But being strong and sick is not great either. What is the point of having great tools if you are too sick to wield them? Again, that is politics. If you are always neglecting strength, you'll be mediocre, fall off the ranking, and struggle. You know, it just sounds to me that I don't matter to you. You matter, but you are not cutting edge. How can I ever trust the protection of my home to you? If you want to become strong, at least stay out of the way. I'm not weak. What if you were? Wouldn't you want to be protected by someone competent? Maybe I would like to be someone competent myself, but unlike you, I would actually care about people's health. Then do become competent, but you can't let caring weigh down your means of keeping your own sovereignty. Remember you only have one budget. Who are others to say how big my budget is? I shouldn't have to be rich to improve my health and therefore strength. Maybe you should. If you were worthy of health care, you'd have the money to pay for it. Why would you say that? I'm really trying to improve air quality here. So am I. But as you can see, you can't already even see that much. You are not aware of as many variables as I am, and none of us has the solution to this. I am worthy. The problem is that people's work does not instantiate their payment. Earning income starts being more about negotiation than doing the actual job, and everyone loses because of that. It becomes less about supplying and more about squeezing money out of demand. If you are in such a hurry with your imaginary threats, you should fix this. Indeed, slowness is not good for either health or strength, unless the reason is thorough work. Maybe if every time a design were used, the designer got a royalty, everyone would be happy. Everyone but the consumer. Why must the consumer pay every single person on earth? The tax, the royalty, the sales commission, the manufacturer's wages, the marketing, the disposal. Yes, activity should pay for itself. Just how rich must the consumer be nowadays to pay everyone involved fairly? Thank goodness there are currencies with different weights. Otherwise it would be impossible to pay people a living wage. Asymmetrical currencies are not good either. It is not beautiful. There's just so much that does not make sense. But somehow this system brought us this far, so I must muster some faith. But I think there's a lot that can be improved. Our economic model can become more true to how nature functions. Let's figure it out together. Yeah, we will become the strongest and healthiest ecosystem in the galaxy. I like it that you two are pursuing truth, but you can't reach it as you are now. So how will you manage in the meantime? I'll find a way for economics and chemistry to reunite into alchemy. I can't let phlogiston, the profit substance, run away from me like this. I'll learn from alchemy and religion, as they are great at product life cycle design. I'll figure out if money can be like chemistry, in which different things can be made of the same elements. That still sounds foggy, but it is better. But that's just studying. What will you do that improves things now? I'll take care of some plants in spite of earning no money from it. Uh, oh, you'll manage. We are here for you. Thanks. And you? I'll There's really nothing I can do but study. I really do need to find a solution everyone will like. Well, good luck! Phloxy Fables and the air for sale.